I'm Larry Anglisano reporting here at Sun and Fun 2025 in Lakeland, Florida. I'm with Doug King at Epic Aircraft, where the big news from Epic is the next generation of the 1000 series turboprop. It's the 1000AX. And, at first blush, you look at this airplane and people might say, well, it's got Garmin auto land and auto throttle like some of the others, but there's a lot more packed into this airplane than electronics, although electronics are a big part of it. Doug King's going to give us a walk around and tell us what this airplane's all about, right?
Sure. Thanks, Larry. That we chose AX because it's automated everything. That was our mission here. We did want to add a lot of electronics to it. So we've done that and some nice new features that have given us a little more useful load, about 50 pounds more when it's fully loaded. So let's take a look.
All right.
One thing up on top, we've just come out with the Starlink mini enclosure. So up on top of the unit, we've got the first implementation, I believe, on an airplane of an external mount for a Starlink mini. And to have high-speed internet all the time, and that coincides with Starlink's new lower pricing for aircraft. As I said before, it's now 1,150 pounds of payload after full fuel. So really still the leader and even by more. And that's fully loaded like this one with the new, our laminar flow Garmin 8000 pod. So we have a weather radar.
Yeah, that's one thing that's interesting. The radar pod, it's off on the right wing, and it doesn't really look like a typical radar pod. It's pretty aerodynamic from the looks of it, right?
Yeah, so we optimized it for cruise speed, and it really made a difference. It's laminar flow, and our test pilots and flight test engineers say it impacts the cruise speed by less than half a knot. So it's no effect on cruise speed and no effect on stall. It just disappears.
And something else you've done to reduce weight is battery tech, right? The old airplane had standard batteries, like ads?
Lead acid. We went from lead acid to lithium ion, and that took a bunch of weight off of the airplane. We've gone to the new Cool View windows by Lee Aerospace. Those have a layer of gold in them to cut out the heat, but they're also lighter weight than our old electrochromatic windows. So again, performance is our brand, and we really aim to keep striving to improve that performance for our customers.
Now, if we compare this airplane to the previous 1000 GX, speeds and pretty much everything is the same. It's the same power plant, PT6A. What variety is it?
It's a 67 Alpha.
Okay.
So you get full 1,200 horsepower on takeoff, and you can hold that for 5 minutes. And then it's 1,000 horsepower continuous. And that's the same as it was before.
How is it such an efficient airplane?
Well, it's the all carbon fiber composite. It's smooth and very aerodynamic. We have a bigger cabin than our competitors, but we burn less fuel to go faster than them. And so it really is a performance machine. I think we're the only airplane that you can buy right now that does over 300 knots on less than 50 gallons an hour of jet fuel. So that's a real game-changing level of efficiency. And we have the biggest cabin of all the 6-place turbines.
And of course, a big part of the new AX Series 1000 is the Garmin cockpit with Garmin's emergency auto land and auto throttle. Let's go take a look at that.
Let's go look. The panel looks largely similar to the GX, but you have the auto throttle disconnect here right on the throttle. And then the mode controller for the autopilot is different for the FMS or manual mode and the speed selection. So a little bit of a change. We simplified some of the parts that we use are a little less, and got rid of some of the buttons just to make it easier to use so that the baro knob, it does the sync. We didn't have that before because we had a different knob setup. But really, kind of one of the coolest new features is this electronic brake hold. So when I press that, it actually actuates a brake and holds the brake, so I don't have to hold them when I'm doing a run up or checking my prop over speed governor. So the electronic brake hold is really a nice feature.
So, Doug, you and I talked a little bit off camera about folks transitioning to this airplane, and you seem to think that a big part of the market are owners coming up from single-engine piston airplanes, maybe Cirrus models with a similar cockpit. How does this airplane make for an easy transition, you think?
So we've designed the flows of this cockpit to be very easy. So one of the things, there's no overhead switches. So that's just lights. So there's nothing to operate other than what's right in front of you. Your startup procedure is simply left to right. You just turn them on one at a time and hit the start button. It's really that simple. Your primary switches, you do your pre-start row, you start your engine, and then you turn on your pre-taxi row, turn on lights, and that's it. One of the other things we did is this was on the GX as well, but hold that takeoff go around button down and look up above your primary flight display, and you can see what's ready and not ready for takeoff. So it actually gives you the status, like the flaps aren't set, the rudder trim, the door's not closed, the pressurization's not on. So all of that, it's really designed to help somebody out that's stepping up from maybe a simpler platform. And we've made this really easy to fly.
Garmin Autopilot embedded GFC 700. Now we've got automatic yaw damper engage.
Correct. So as you get up through a couple hundred feet, yaw damper turns on. As you come down through a couple hundred feet, yaw damper turns off. So really, it makes it easier. It automatically trims the rudder. When you hold this down, it makes sure that your rudder trim is set for takeoff. It's not right now. So really helping them through the process of operating this turbine airplane. So we added the 3D, you can see the taxi, the safe taxi, the System 7 feature, and then we've got the GDL60 with the automatic database updates, the concierge. That's a big, just a hassle factor.
So this is G1000, three-screen G1000, which should be familiar for somebody stepping up from a TAA, you think, whether it's a piston or maybe another late model turbine.
Yeah,
I guess what I'm getting at is what's the biggest challenge from somebody transitioning to a 1000? Is it operating the avionics? Is it staying ahead of the airplane, or is it a little bit of everything?
I think it's really having your head in the IFR system. Operating the IFR system, that's really, because you're going to operate this airplane IFR. You're going to be above 18,000 feet in, 5 minutes. So you're going to get up there quickly, and you're going through sectors quickly, so you're changing radios quickly. It's important that you're on your game with your IFR. But the airplane is simple to operate, so it doesn't overload you. It's, you just have to be brushed up on your IFR skills.
Yep. And the AX is pretty much ready to go? Type certified and ready for delivery soon, or?
So it will be certified soon. So we'll start deliveries of the AX in the summer.
Great. Well, where can folks find out more about the Epic website with all information, I assume?
Yep, epicaircraft.com.
Right. And you've been watching coverage here from Sun and Fun 2025. I'm with Doug King at Epic Aircraft. Thanks a lot for watching.